Okay, now that we've finished scenario analysis, we can get right into sensitivity analysis. And I hope you guys saw Lori's video, and I know she's very good at talking through the fundamentals of why we're doing scenario and sensitivity analysis. So I don't need to talk much about it, but for our spreadsheet's sake, the sensitivity analysis is we want it to be a function of trying to fix parameters or move parameters, just to see how things could move or what we could expect if we did experience something. So a manager might be, well, what if you don't get that many sales? Like, let's see if we expect 80% of whatever it might be. How is that going to affect, or how much will that affect our bottom line? So we like to look at sensitivity analysis to plan for the future as well, because we might be more pessimistic or optimistic either way. In our meetings, our managers might ask us to play with the model a little bit. So the first thing, actually, it's the same exact thing that we did as scenario. We're going to leave the base year exactly the same, and we're going to insert a column for sensitivity analysis. So I'm just going to insert on B, and I'm going to make it the same width as column C. So I'm just going to hit Format Painter, go right, or I'm sorry, left, and type in sensitivity. And I'm going to give this a different color just so I know they're different. Maybe a red, sure, why not? And I can copy all the 100% because sensitivity works exactly as the same as the scenario, and the functioning of it is going to be the same thing too. So we just need to remember base year is off limits, so we never change the base year because we're forecasting based off that year, base year. So the first thing we do is we're in G9. We're going to start off as 230, and you can see already that we have it multiplying the base year times the scenario. So let's enter the cell and do the same thing for the sensitivity. And we're going to put the dollar sign in front of the B again. We can drag this over, down, and then we can copy this formula for row 15, and then we have to do it for these rows as well. But you can see it's a little bit different for, can't just bring the formula down in this area because we have the growth rate attached to it. So if we bring this formula down, it will never capture that growth rate again. We would have to bring that in again. So let's just do it from scratch. Just go in, click B19, put a dollar sign in the front of B19, drag over, drag down to the bottom border down on this guy, bottom border. We don't have to do anything for revenue, remember, because that's a function of our sources as well as the sales. Variable cost is a function of uses and sales. Fixed cost we do though, right? We talked about this in the last video. So nothing off the base here times B38, and we're going to put that dollar sign in front of B, drag across and then down. But be careful when you drag down. Actually, I'm not going to drag down, I'm going to copy it. I'm going to place it in Duncan and Madge. We know we don't have to do anything with total wages because it's just the summation of the three above it, but we do have to put in health insurance and those below it, right? So I'm just going to highlight the health insurance line and drag down to the 12,000. Alright, and you can see we have that inconsistency problem again, so just highlight, click under the exclamation, ignore error because I know that that is actually a correct formula. But Excel is just trying to help me in case I did screw something up. So sometimes it's useful. Just fix your border. And you can see now we include a new column called sensitivity. And to show you what I was trying to describe in the beginning, your boss might come in and say, you're being way too optimistic. There's no way that we're going to generate that many sales. So what does the model do if we expect 15% of what you're already looking at. So 100 minus that 15 is 85. You can just copy those down, and you can see that if we expect 15% less sales in our model, so that sensitivity is saying, drop that 15% because you're being overly optimistic. You're going to incur losses in your forecasting years 1 through 4. So that's not good, right? The same thing is if we increase it. So what happens if we were being pessimistic to begin with, and he said, I think you can expect 20 more percent, right, year over year. Well, 120, copy the 120, and then you can look down, and wow, we went from 4,300 in the first year, in the base year, right? To calculate off that base year, we are projecting some pretty large increases in our bottom line. But the nice thing is, since we did this as a function of many more things than just sales, you can answer a lot more questions or a lot more sensitivities if the event arises. So I hope this video was informative. It's a lot shorter than the other two. I apologize. I may have rambled on a little bit, but trying to think of any questions that might come up and wanted to answer them for you. Like I said, I'm always on my email, so if you have any questions, please reach out. I hope this is a fun exercise. You guys are learning a lot in Excel. It's a very useful tool. I'll say that every time. So I'm glad you guys are getting familiar with it. Hope you guys have a great week, and I'm excited to see what product you guys come up with, and what your own spreadsheets look like as well. So all that creativity, because you guys are the creative, well, a lot more creative than I am as an accountant, that's for sure. So hope you guys have a great day.